welcome to Panorama today, coming to you live from the Lagos Network Center. I am Adeola Komiakiri. The judgment on the petition of a candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Eyitayo Jegede, challenging the election of Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu of the All Progressives Congress is ongoing in Akure, the Ondo State capital. The judgment has been delivered via Zoom. In the petition, Eyitayo Jegede of the People's Democratic Party is contending the victory of the incumbent Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu of APC in the October 10, 2020 governorship election. The three-man tribunal, headed by Justice Umar Abubakar, is delivering the judgment via Zoom due to the industrial action embarked upon by Jusun. Now, the Acting Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, has been tasked to bring his wealth of experience to bear towards tackling head-on and mitigating the internal challenges of security confronting Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari gave the march-in at a strategic engagement with the new police chief. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
This is the first formal engagement between President Muhammadu Buhari and the Acting Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba. The new police chief assumed office on the 7th of this month when President Muhammadu Buhari was in the UK. He is therefore here alongside the Minister of Police Affairs, Muhammad Magarid Ngiadi, to formally say thank you to the President for the trust and confidence reposed in him. President Muhammadu Buhari, who congratulated the new appointee, however, said his appointment can only be justified if peace, law and order reigns supreme across Nigeria. The president described the prevailing internal security situation as unacceptable.
I have taken over at a very crucial time, and I am fully aware of the situation in the country, and I am introducing what I feel will mitigate these security challenges in the country, and I have started implementing them, and I'm ready to come and brief the president so that we can get all the support that is necessary.
Nigerians are worried over the renewed attacks on police formations in parts of the country. What can you tell them?
What we are having at the moment is a very serious challenge, and I want to assure Nigerians that with the new setup that we have now on the ground, we will make sure that we improve the situation to the best of our ability so that Nigerians will see the changes that are already on the ground.
And how do you intend to do that?
Well, we intend to do it by ensuring that we have adequate equipment, we have adequate personnel, and we improve the training and the welfare of the police so that we motivate them to do more. As you are aware, the morale of many police officers has been seriously dampened now because of the rampant killings of police officers, because of the raising down of most of our officers. So we need to do a kind of motivational work to ensure that we raise the morale of the police. And this we have started, and I believe it's going to yield a positive result.
When confirmed, Usman Alkali Baba will be Nigeria's 21st Indigenous Inspector General of Police. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has urged the United States to lend its weight to the call for a just global transition to zero emissions, lead the efforts to ensure easy access to COVID-19 vaccine by all countries, and generally reset its foreign policy agenda with the African continent in ways that bring about economic prosperity, increased security, and improved governance. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Speaking of the theme, African-US re-engagement and new foreign policy agenda, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says African countries have already made commitment towards implementing the Paris Climate Change Agreement target and indices and working towards achieving them.
So I think that a resetting of U.S. foreign policy agenda with Africa should promote a partnership that brings about economic prosperity, increases security, combats disease, improves governance, and mitigates the effects of climate change.
The Vice President in recent times has been advocating for a just transition to net zero emissions, particularly calling on multilateral agencies and Western countries to stop the planned defunding of gas projects in developing countries.
The United States, of course, is an acknowledged global leader in economic and military terms, as well as through its contributions to the norms that shape the global order. So I think that the U.S. could work with Africa, either under the auspices of the Africa Union, or indeed through individual countries like Nigeria, to build a better world. Africa should not be seen or used as a pawn in the great power games, nor as an arena in the contest to secure strategic minerals and natural resources, but rather as a partner in building a more secure, a more peaceful and prosperous world.
The program was the 2021 Johns Hopkins University's African Studies Program Conference with the theme African-US Re-Engagement and in Foreign Policy Agenda. In the State House, Jude Onifade, NTA News.
The federal government is not just connecting the seaports to the rail network, but expediting actions on getting into the terminals, which invariably will enhance cargo delivery and evacuation while saving costs and turnaround time. Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi gave the indication while on an inspection of the Apapa corridor to discuss impediments to accessing the APM terminal. Michael Olaleye reports.
Getting access into the Apapa corridor is one of the milestones recorded in the rail revolution. The determination to fast-track the evacuation of cargo is paramount in the blueprints. This unscheduled inspection by the Minister of Transportation is to ensure that barricades to the lane of trucks into the terminals are eliminated.
For new equipment, because this one is useless, that's what he said.
Sequel to now, it has been agreed by all stakeholders that these customs scanning sites will give way for trucks to enter the APM terminal in Apapa. Despite fulfilling necessary provisions, the tax seems huge than earlier emphasized.
You can actually commission this project without that, because it's not just one track. There are several tracks. That's one of the tracks that we're going to fix. So all we're doing is to make sure that out of the 3 tracks, 1 or 2 at least can get to the quay, so that we can commission, depending when the other ones are completed, as of these challenges we are meeting inside the seaport.
A meeting of key players in the rail subsector will be looking at options on the cards, especially means of navigating around the 750 meters available for trucks to get to the APML terminal if the customs scanning site is not removed to get the required 800 meters.
We have to get to the seaside so that the ship can load direct to reduce multiple handling of goods. And by so doing, you will reduce costs of the movement. Because presently, we now get ourselves involved in multiple handling. You have to pay for truck to take it to the rail head. That's why the minister is insisting that we must get to the seaside, and which is the best way to go for Nigeria.
The interest of key players here is how to kickstart freight operations on the standard gauge in an atmosphere devoid of any impediment to accessing cargoes. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
And reports just reaching us says Chad President Idris Deby has been reported dead on the front lines, according to an army statement. Parliament has been dissolved after the president died of injuries sustained in clashes. It comes just a day after Deby won a 6th term in office. And moving on now, the World Meteorological Organization has released the 2020 State of a Global Climate Report, which places the year as one of the warmest in history. Onangiye Fineface reports.
Reports from the World Meteorological Organization shows that 2020 had record greenhouse gas concentration, increased global temperature to 1.2 degrees Celsius, acidification and acceleration of ocean heat, and sea level rise propelled by melting glaciers.
The only long-term solution is to be successful in mitigation, but adaptation remains very important, because this negative trend in climate will anyhow continue until 2060s, and that means growing amount of drought problems in some parts of the world and growing amount of flooding problems in other parts of the world.
2020, the report indicates, also witnessed extreme weather conditions like wildfires, heavy rains and extensive flooding, drought, among others.
This is a frightening report. And
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres warns that without concrete action to cut carbon emissions, the new decade beginning this year, 2021, could be more devastating for humanity.
This is truly a pivotal year for humanity's future. And this report shows we have no time to waste. Climate disruption is here. I urge everyone to take the message of this report to heart. Let us all commit to act to stabilize our climate and to end our war on nature.
The Global Climate Report was initiated in 1993 to provide data to understand and provide solutions to climate change and its effects on the planet. Onengiye Fine Face, NTA News.
And in a related development, as Lagosians gradually progress into the rainy season, the urgent need for residents to desist from indiscriminate dumping of refuse to ensure free flow of water along canals and other channels have been re-echoed to avert flooding. Amaka Owo visited some flood-prone areas within the metropolis and now reports.
These are men of the appropriate agency carrying out their daily routine of clearing accumulated refuse from this location close to a drainage on Adolo Deco in Victoria Island, Lagos. They claim the site is a designated spot for waste disposal.
So what to relocate it to where that there is no gutter, because when they throw it here, it will now drop back to the gutter, and it's not good.
Not too far from Victoria Island is Agungi Inibejuleki area of Lagos. Perennial flooding is a challenge bedeviling the area. It has defied solutions, and residents attribute the havoc wreaked by flooding to indiscriminate disposal of waste that clog gutters and narrow canals in their axis.
Any little rail like this cannot move. Everywhere flow of water.
There's no water now. We are enjoying now. If you have to come here yesterday and see something, but you want to see what will happen between that, maybe May, June, July, August.
Residents also reiterate the need for attitudinal change on their part and intensified clearing of drainages by the government.
They can employ most of the unemployment to the refuse offices.
Following predictions from the Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET that some states, including Lagos, would experience normal to above normal rainfall in 2021. Experts reiterate that the time to take more precautionary measures against any flooding is now. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
Let's take a short break. Panorama continues. Stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. Now, the Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, has re-emphasized the federal government's commitment to ensure television consumers get better services. Annie Daniels reports that the minister said this during his visit to NTA Lagos Network Center ahead of the digital switchover.
Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, on arrival was received by some management staff of the NTA Lagos Network Center. Lai Mohammed recalled that between 2016 till date, digital switchover has taken place in Plateau, Enugu, Kaduna, Kwara, Osun States and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The second phase of the rollout program, built to commence on the 29th of April 2021, the minister says, will be in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Kano, Yobe, Gombe and other states, so that by middle of 2022, the entire nation would have been covered.
And the dividend of digital is one, you have better pictures, better fidelity, you have more channels to watch, advertising revenue is increased, more jobs are created because of the different players in the DSO. You need a set-top box, which is like a decoder.
The minister revealed that presently 13 companies have been licensed to manufacture set-top boxes in Nigeria. This will translate to massive job employment for Nigerians.
After the digital switch over, then you now come back to what we call analog switch off. So the 29th date is not a cut-off date at all. It's just the date for us to roll out in Lagos. NTA is a channel owner. You are a content, you are going to be on the platform. You are also going to be on what we call the free TV platform. But it means that once this analog switch off is completed, you are no longer going to carry yourself, transmit yourself. You either pick ITS or you pick Pinnacle to be transmitting for you, which now gives NTA more time and more, to concentrate on programming, to concentrate on content production.
The minister added that the directive for GoTV and StarTimes to stop self-carriage will not take effect until the end of June. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
More light on the issue is the former General Manager, Integrated Television Services, Rotimi Salami. Thank you for joining us on Panorama, sir. Thank to us what will happen in Lagos on the 29th of April.
Yeah, by now, stations on the platform will have been terminated at the head end there in Lagos. The signals by now should be there, and all tests will have been completed. On the 29th, I expect decoders to be made available at the venue to viewers, and they will be sold at reasonable prices. So viewers can now acquire these decoders or set-top boxes, take to their homes, put their antenna up, and enjoy about 30 channels of high signal quality.
Okay, now what changes would Lagos TV viewers have to make to, have a feel of the switch over?
I just wait for that day. That they need do nothing other than acquiring the set-top boxes. After having acquired the set-top boxes, the difference now might be they will need a rooftop antenna to receive good signal quality. And the benefit to them is that they will have 32 channels on their remote, very high technical quality.
Okay, now what are the challenges that may likely arise with the rollout in Lagos?
Right now, I don't think the coverage area had been mapped. So that would mean some areas might be on the dark side of the signal. That means they won't be receiving the signals. But I believe as time goes on, these areas, once complaint reaches the authority, will attend to them. The good thing is that there are about 8 sites in Lagos.
Okay.
So effective coverage of the entire state is possible on the platform.
Okay, that's good to know. Now, how informed would you say Nigerians are about the switchover, especially when most watch cable TV?
The break in launching for the 2 years had affected the mood. So I will expect many will not even be aware of this because publicity is rather muted. Okay. Maybe probably to Lagos alone. But then I think it will rekindle the inquisitiveness of our people in the entire switchover process, which had taken quite a while now. So it's good that we're having it in Lagos, and Lagos will raise a lot of questions that the populace will attract the populace interest in the entire process. So I think it's a good thing we are opening in Lagos.
Okay, before I let you go, just summarily tell us the benefit of the digital switchover to the Nigerian government and Nigerians at large.
You see, the technical aspects are now being addressed. The other aspect that need to be addressed is the economy. We expect this will bring larger revenue for both practitioners and the government, because the issue of licensing, advertising, we expect greater increase in that. Then for the viewership, there is so much to choose from. At least for starters right now, they will have not less than 32 channels to play with. So this includes some channels that are not yet on the free terrestrial transmission right now. So the benefit is for all a win-win situation. Government will make more revenue. With everything working normal, there will be more employment. Producers will have to produce more programs in order to fill in the available air time. So it is more work, and the quality of transmission will have to improve because the competition is high. If your signal is not good, nobody will be willing to stay there and just watch some dull signals where there are better entertainment with higher quality elsewhere. So it's an interesting time we are in.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rotimi Salami, former General Manager, Integrated Television Services, for educating Nigerians on the digital switchover. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Now to our earlier reports. The Chad President, Idris Deby, has died on front lines. This is contained in a statement by the country's army. Reports say Parliament has been dissolved after the president died of injuries sustained in clashes. Chad's army is currently battling rebel forces who have launched an assault on the capital, N'Djamena. The death of the president came just a day after he won a 6th term in office. And next, the sports update is Bade Adeleye is our guide.
Time to bring you up to speed with some trending sports stories. I am Bade Adeleye. Minister of State for Education, Chukwuemeka Nwajuba, has commended the Nigeria School Sports Federation for their Support School Sports initiative, which is aimed at ensuring that all primary and secondary schools in the country have sports as a core curricular activity.
Everything you have enumerated sounds fantastic. I would love to do that.
The essence of this visit is to say yes to school sport and also to ensure that we revive inter-house sports in our schools.
There is a ray of hope for grassroots sports talents in the Federal Capital Territory after certified instructors in gymnastics, badminton and basketball used the 2021 International Day of Sports for Peace and Development to expose kids, including those in IDP camps, to the sports.
We're trying to see how we can get our children's mindset back to doing sports.
To a bit of handball now, former national and international handball players under the auspices of Mega Veterans Association are ready to partner Handball Federation of Nigeria in grassroots developmental program. This was their submission after the conclusion of the body's electoral congress, where Seydou Jibril succeeded Mark Jacob as chairman of the 9-member executive committee.
If it means getting through the presidency to ensure that handball gets to the highest peak, we'll do our best.
And finally, Monday's sack of Jose Mourinho as Tottenham manager has continued to divide opinions among supporters of the club. Mourinho and his backroom staff leave the new White Hart Lane Stadium just 17 months after being appointed, with reports claiming his sack was only due to poor results. And that will be all on Sports Update.
And that's Panorama today. It came to you from the Lagos Network Center. I am Adeola Komiakere. Good afternoon.